Hi everyone. For my final digital story, I decided to do a journey map titled Back to the Big Island, My Origin Story. I created it with StoryMap.js by a company called Nightlab. And I watched a few tutorials to kind of get me started, but wanted to show you how I went about creating my story and also show you a few glitches I found along the way. So hopefully, if you decide to undertake a project like this, you can avoid spending hours trying to get something to work and then realizing that you were doing it the wrong way. So hopefully that'll help you out a little bit. StoryMap creates a digital map journey that takes you from place to place geographically. So I decided to add an audio component to mine. So mine is mainly going to be audio because I wanted to use my own voice to tell my personal narrative part of the story, while the map would take you from place to place, location wise. And then there's also a spot on there where you can create some text. And in that area, I did a little bit of informational text about each of the places that I'm talking about in my own narrative version. So to get started, what you want to do is you want to go ahead and go to storymap.nightlab.com. And once you get to this page, you're going to go ahead and click on Make a Story Map. And I'm going to click on New. And it asks me to go ahead and decide what I want to call it. Now, I can edit this later, but I'm going to call this Back to the Big Island. And I'm going to go ahead and say Create. So what it's going to do is it takes you to this page right here where you can start creating. And the very first slide that comes up is actually going to be kind of like your introductory slide. You can start with this slide if you want, but I'm going to show you a little bit later on how it kind of goes back and adjusts the map part of this slide based on all the different locations that you've stopped throughout your story. So my headline in this case is going to be Back to the Big Island, My Origin Story. I'm actually not going to put any extra text on this page because it's the introductory slide and I just want the title to be kind of prominent. Okay, over on the left over here is where you go ahead and you can upload the different media that you're going to be using. So the background is the map, and I'm going to go ahead and show you how to upload the image. So what I did was I used all of my own photography from when we were visiting the Big Island of Hawaii a couple of years ago. So I'm going to go to Upload, choose a file, and I'm going to go here. I'm going to use this picture of Hilo Bay with the palm tree over on the side. I'm going to go ahead and upload it. Okay, so while this is uploading, I kind of want to talk about one of the glitches that I found while uploading photos. And that is, if I try to do any type of editing to my photo, which would make my file a little bit bigger, it wouldn't upload my image because my file was too big. So that was a problem I was running into at the beginning. And so where I wanted to add a little bit to some of my photos that I was using, I wasn't really able to do that. I guess probably without using a better kind of editing program, which I didn't really have or have time to mess around with. So I ended up using all of my original photos that I took without any editing really done, except for changing the size of a few of them. And there's a place right here where you can credit the photo. So because I took all the images, I'm just crediting myself. But you can give photo credit to wherever you got the photo from. Okay. Then down here in this box where it says caption, I'm going to come back to that in just a minute, but this is where you can write a caption for your photo, or you can upload any extra media that you want to include. And this is where I ended up having to go ahead and upload all of my audio that I decided to do. And I saved it on SoundCloud, made it through Audacity, and then saved to SoundCloud. And at first, I spent a really long time trying to embed my audio onto each one of my slides because I thought that I could do it on this side where the text goes, because there's a little edit HTML area and there's a spot for a link. And because I thought this side was just for pictures and captions, I was trying to embed my audio in this other side and it was not working. So that was a little bit of frustration for me. So just know that if you do this, you cannot embed your audio on the right side of this page at all. Okay. The great thing about StoryMap is you can preview ahead of time. Okay. So right now I don't have any map in my background, but I'm going to show you that on the next slide. So I'm going to go back to edit and I'm going to add a slide, and this will be my first stop technically on my journey that I'm doing. So I started out, when I watched one of my tutorials on this, one of the people that I was watching had said to go ahead and open Google Maps as another window that you have open, because she had found that if you do that, let's say I want to go to downtown Hilo. So I'm going to go to Google Maps and I'm going to type in Hilo. I'm going to just go to the Hilo Hawaiian Hotel because I know that's along the Hilo Bay and that's kind of where I want to be on my first stop. So what she had done was gone here, and actually I'm going to go over here to the Grand Nani Loa. And if I right click on it and say what's here, it will give me GPS coordinates that I can go ahead and copy. And then I can paste them up here where it says search. Okay. The first couple of times I tried this, it worked perfectly. Now it's not letting me do that. So I'm pressing enter and nothing's happening with the GPS coordinates. When I did it the first time, it took me right to the spot on the map that I wanted to be. So in this case, Google Maps wasn't really helping me. I kind of used it a little bit to search for some different places that I wasn't sure maybe what streets they were on, and it helped me pinpoint it a little bit easier. But I'm just going to type in up here. Let's see. Hilo. And probably the closest I'm going to get right at this moment is I'm just going to go to Hilo. Okay. And it's bringing up the map. And this is the little marker, this little red part right here. It's the marker option to show me where I am. And I actually am going to zoom in on that because I don't really want it right here. And I'm going to move it a little bit because I'm thinking I want it kind of closer to the bay over here. Actually, I'm going to go down a little further because my first stop is going to be downtown Hilo, and I know that's right about here. Okay, so I can place the marker in about the right spot, and that's going to show me that. Okay, another thing that I want to show you is map options for what your map actually looks like. And if you go up here to the left on the top of the page, you're going to click on options, and down here under map type, this is the map type that's showing right now, tone or light. I played around with this a little bit, and I actually ended up using the standard street map. Another one that I thought was really pretty, if I was a little bit more artistic, is the watercolor map. And I'll show you what that kind of looks like. It gives the map like this really pretty watercolor looking background to it. It got a little bit tricky though, because you can't see any of the streets. And so that was a little tricky. So I'm going to go back up and go to standard and close, and it just kind of shows you a street view. Okay,